Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Marie Designs South. Today is Self-Care Sunday, and today we're going to be working on one of these little guys from Make Market, perfect for travel. I did want to show you first that I completed my little sparkle pals. I did a little short of Snoopy and Woodstock and how easy these are to carry with you, put in your bag. Snoopy was only two colors. He was black and white. And Woodstock is more of like a fairy dust, like chocolate brown. She's not really black. She's not as black as you can tell Snoopy. A little bit more like a chocolate brown, or maybe it is a black fairy dust. I don't know. You don't get any. You just get like a pack. I love that I have the whole collection. I bought the whole kit. I bought all 10, I believe, at one time. The whole kit. I had my points. I didn't know what to use them on. And I think this was like about 90 something and change. But I had like $50 taken off from my points that I had. And I put these away. And I said, I'm going to take these with me on my trip. And what else did I want to say? Oh, I'm looking for the packaging. Even though I bought these as a kit, they all came individually packaged, which means every one of them had a toolkit. Every one of them had extra baggies. Every one of them had an extra plate of putty and wax and this little bag and the stylus that got away from me. Every one of them. So, I mean, this is not my choice for a tray, and I'll tell you why. See how nice the sides are here? But when you take this off, it falls short here. And I'm a shaker, and so I need something with a high wall, and I find this to be very slippery. And I also find that on the sides of these trays, I took my cuticle nippers that you guys know that I use to take any drills off that maybe I put in the wrong place. I use my cuticle nippers to nip off the two lines on the sides, because when you go to shake them out, they get stuck there. So you can use something in there. I use my cuticle nippers. I don't know what else you can use. I use my cuticle nippers and I shorten the lines on the end. So I'm always giving you guys tips. Here's what we're going to be working on today. I have Snoopy and Woodstock in the frame because these were like my travel kits that I wanted to take with me. I do have another one, a bigger one. And should the weather get a little crazy where I'm like in the house, then I will be using, then I will take out Tropical Landscape. But this, I'm going to go down to the beach area that I think I showed you guys this clip already. I don't think I did. I think you guys only seen like when we got here. I don't think you've seen the grounds yet. I'm kind of like spacing things out. I think I did a few shorts, but there's a beautiful place on the lagoon. And I'm like, this is where I'm going to be doing Self-Care Sunday. So we have this little sweetheart. This is perfect if you want to go down to like, I wouldn't say the beach, but if you're near a pool or you're outside. You don't have too many colors. And I did bring this little tray with me. I think I bought other trays with me too, bigger ones than this. This came with an Art Dot system. What I love about Art Dot is when you order something from them, it's like you never just get what you ordered, you get a bunch of stuff. So I'm actually going to be using this probably for the little drills that I have. And here's my little kitty cat. So I'm on the fence. They're both so adorable. I don't know which one I want to do first. Let's take a look at you guys. I know you guys are thinking that I'm going to do the cat, but I think I'm actually going to do the dog. Even though she looks more kind of festive. Oh, darn. And you know what else? He looks kind of, I don't know, summery to me. She reminds me of like a Peter Max with all these different colors in her. Very cute. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. Which one do I want to do? What was in this kit, actually? Okay. So while I think about this, I'm going to keep this right here so I can stare at it. And maybe by the end, I'll know which one I want to do. This also came with a little travel tray. Well, a little tray. You know, I mean, everything that you need comes with your diamond painting kit. Absolutely. You have a pen. You have some extra baggies for your drills. You have a plate of wax. This wax is very good. I actually used this for the first time. I actually have some in my Rain stick pen that I got from Custom Pens by Cheryl on Etsy. And this is a 3D printed pen, and it's a rain stick also. And I use this, I've been using it all the time, but I'm always going to use it with Self-Care Sunday. It's just so calming. And I have some of the blue wax in there. I was getting ready to leave. I couldn't find anything, and I just opened up. I think I actually opened this up and used it. And you have some, so you have everything you need. If you're a beginning diamond painter and you're like, what is this craft? And I see people with all this stuff and beautiful pens, and you don't need any of that. Just get yourself started. Start small, start slow. Start with something like the Sparkle Dazzlers, these little Sparkle Pals. Start with something small like this and just, you know, get your feet wet. You don't need to have anything big. And if you want to diamond paint the rest of your life with this tray and this pen, trust me, it's all you need. But if you were going to invest in something, invest in a nice tray. Okay, so here are the drills. Well, I got a lot of baggies. I think these came from Sparkle Pals too. I never seem to use baggies. And in the Sparkle Pals also was this really nice multi-placer. One comes on, yeah, one does come on the other side of the pen. Is that right? Yeah, and one is a single placer, one is a multi-placer. But there was a second one in there, and what I really appreciate is that it's a thin multi-placer. So you have an extra multi-placer. I'm not going to be using this pen, even though I like it. I like Diamond Art Club's putty pen. I like it, and I like the putty. Okay, let's put you away, and let's put you away. And I have a skinny multi-placer, almost the same size, so I'm going to put that away. And let's put, I'm going to leave this wax out. I might be using that. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to put everything back in here, including the extra drills from Diamond Art Club. I'm going to need the tray. I'm going to use their tray. I might even use their putty. This has a finished border. And when I tell you that the glue comes right up to where that last drill would be, so you don't even need to washi tape this. I don't like washi tape, but I brought a nice one with me because I have another bigger diamond painting with me. But I found this over at Michael's, and so these are just, what are they actually, bling stickers, and they're in strips. And if you look, they're a little bit thinner than what an average washi tape would be, but enough that if I wanted to put this on the side, I could. But I didn't realize that this had a finished border and that there was really no glue line, because I was looking to use this in place of washi tape. You're looking for an alternative to washi tape and a way to finish your line and make it a little bit more special. I really do love these. And this one was so interesting, but I think it's going to look a lot better on Tropical Landscape that I have. So I'm going to save that for when I take Tropical Landscape out. And I think I am going to be working on the kitty. She's got that Florida vibe. I was really trying to go with the dog, but I think it's going to be the kitty. There are 2 ledgers here. Okay, so you have to, is there 2 here? 107-60740. 01 and 02. Okay. Well, this just says 01 and 02. 01 is the cat. 02 is the dog. However, I only see 1 ledger in here. There are 29. Oh, I think I know what it is. Doing a little math here. A. So they're both going to have the same color drills, even though they're different. There is no sticker sheet. You're just going by a ledger. Let me just show you the other 2 travel ones that I brought with me. These are both Diamond Art Club. These were both bought on Amazon. One is Tropical Landscape. One is the Rose. But I'm so interested in that border. So here's a little, you know, sneak peek of the drills. Oh, they're so pretty. Watch me put these other 2 away and just, just do this one. Let's put them on the side. But here's what I wanted to say. Do these have this has a sticker sheet. This is not that much bigger. And it's 23. And it has stickers. I might just switch off for my dog to doing this one, because I wanted you guys to see how nice this is going to look as a border instead of using washi tape. And I could use it really on either one. These are small. This is a 9x9. Okay. I think I'm going to switch off. This is the way I roll here. I'm sorry. This is the way it happens at Elisa Maria Designs, but you get a lot. You get a lot. I'm just not into, and this is Tropical Landscape. I just want to show you too. Here's a little sneak peek at that. But I think I'm into the rose right now, just because it's going to be easy breezy. And again, stickers, 13. Oh, some of them, these are just the black ones. Oh, I think I'm just into these Diamond Art Club drills. Look at that palette there. Look at how pretty that is. And I'm into just having my stickers. And I'm into this just being a lot of color blocking. Nothing too heavy for my mind. And let me get this little thing here. And look how pretty this would look also as a border to this painting. I think that all the colors go together really nicely. Oh, this is going to be more fun. I'm putting the puppy and the kitty cat away. Let's do the Tropical Landscape. We're in Florida. I'll be right back with everything all set up. So being that we only have 13 colors, look who's back. So to flatten out your little canvas here, just pull back your plastic. And then I like using my aligner. I use my aligners for so much. I have a nice aligner on this one. These are self-leveling. They will even out, but just peeling back each corner of the plastic. The liner helps keep the air out. Has that nice, soft, velvety finish on the background. It's a little cushy, it's nice. That is with this palette. You can even see the colors that are on there too. So pretty. Oh, oh, I love these little things. Oh, let me see, did I pack, and was I smart enough to pack a scissor? I wasn't. I made sure I got my cuticle markers though, so that's what I'm gonna have to use. There's no scissor in this joint. In here. They have a lot of sharp tools here when we came in, but they didn't have any scissor. Alrighty. Maybe I could do it this way. Is there a little bit of glue edge on here? Yeah, just a tiny little bit. Whoops. Leave it to me. If there's a wrong way to do it, I'm your girl. Okay. Let's just get this. I can see it's coming up a little bit. So, right there. I see that little, like a little hill and valley. Oh gosh, I love that I found these because I love them so much more than washi tape. I just do. How many did I leave here? 3. Let's leave 3 here. 1, 2, 3. I'm right here. I don't think I'm going to lose anything by, well, they're really close together. Like I can pick up, you know what I mean? Usually I miter my ends because I like that look. But it's okay. Like I cut this piece off, but you're not going to see that I cut it off there. That's what I'm saying, trying to say. And this has like a little bit of a silicone feel underneath. It's clear. Oh, it's cute. So you see how that's looking instead of using washi tape? Oh, I love it. try not to get this to turn over on the other side. If not, trouble. You know, if your plastic turns in the opposite direction, oh God, it's a horror. Okay, I'm just gonna peel it off this time. You can do it, you can do it. Just gonna psych myself out. Right on the line. Okay. Okay, I got a handle on it. There's a piece of paper on there. Where'd you come from? Oh gosh, I love these. I do. Okay. Am I leaving 3 on this end too? Yeah, because it's about, yeah, 3 is, well, there's 3 in a row, so leave 3 on the end. So 1, 2, 3, right there. Here's my little cuticle nipper. There we go. And then I can pick this up here. Oh, I have one more line there than I should have had. I had 4. I'll cut that off. You know what I could cut this off with? I'm using these cuticle nippers. I think I have an X-Acto knife that might work better. Here comes the boy. So I'm going to play it smart this time. I'm going to leave the plastic down, being that this is see-through. I'm going to go right here and measure, and then come into 3, which I already did, and cut it. And then I don't have to struggle with, you know, holding the tape and all that. It's, you know, as you go, you learn these little things, these little tips and tricks. And one, two, three. And then I'm just gonna put the last one on. I thought that little cut off piece that I had was going to fit, and it didn't. And because I want to be like really precise where you don't see the cut line. There's my little border instead of using washi tape. I'm gonna get kitted up. This video was so much longer. I just cut out so much because I did end up going down to the pool, and I did end up doing some diamond painting, this canvas in particular, and I had to make cuts somewhere, and this is where they got done. So I'm just zipping through the kit up. It's really interesting that when you don't have the things that you rely on, that you can still make 2. I really would have kitted up the other kit had I had my China marker. I would have written on those little plastic containers. I don't even know if you've seen those, but I had the little ones. Well, I'm going to be kitting up with them here. But being that, you know, the labels had to be cut out, and then I had a glue stick, I was like, this is just going to take too long. I'm going to switch to another diamond painting. And, you know, this is future me talking to you. I've already done some diamond painting on this down by the pool, and it really came out. Really, it was moving so quickly that if John didn't come back to the pool, he was out riding around on a golf cart. I don't know what he was doing. He's doing all kinds of stuff. If he didn't come back, I'd probably still be by the pool. I probably still would be diamond painting. But I wanted to just tell you that, you know, I almost was going to turn this into 2 different videos, but it is Self-Care Sunday, and I feel like I'm getting way behind. A lot of people coming in and out of our place, a lot of people wanting to know, are you new here? Are you staying? Are you just renting? Giving us things to do. We've been on the road for, I feel like since we got here. So hold on one sec. So I made it to the pool. I didn't make it to the place that I wanted to go to, but I did a whole video like the second day that we had checked in, that, you know, I wanted to show you guys the grounds, but I didn't get to that yet. I also didn't get to my husband taking me on a safari. That's a riot. I might just clip that down to like the most hilarious parts and do a 3-minute short. But I'm at the pool and I'm going to be, you know, just diamond painting quietly, and I'm going to be doing, I think I may have even started self-care Sunday during the kid up, or maybe I just kind of maybe edited the kid out. I don't know. You know me, I wing it. It's all about doing what works for you and how you feel, and just going with the flow. There's no rules here. You do you, I'm doing me, and hopefully it's just as quiet and as enjoyable for you as it is for me. Let's get to it. Well, hello again. I am trying to find a spot where I can find some quiet. John is sleeping, the TV is on. I went into the lanai and the air conditioner popped on and that was making noise. And then I went out in the back and people are in the back and they're talking and laughing. And so I said, let me just take a walk. Maybe I can find an empty bench somewhere. But actually, I think I'm walking the wrong way. I'm going to turn around. And the problem is that I know everybody that lives down that end. So if somebody sees me, they're probably going to stop me, interrupt me, and want to talk. Oh gosh, it's such a beautiful day. It was such a beautiful day. It's around 7:30 right now, and John took care of me this morning. I was not feeling well. I think the harrowing trip here, the next day, we did wake up in Savannah. And we did walk around Savannah, and that is another thing that I didn't get the opportunity to show you guys. I took some lovely pictures of historic Savannah, so beautiful. And then, but again, it was then back in the car, and another maybe 5 or 6 hours until we arrived here. So that was Tuesday. And then, you know, emptying the car and checking in. And we then, I think, really went to bed early on Tuesday. For as excited as we were to finally get here. But we went to bed early. And I just could not move Wednesday. He was up. You know, he's still on his mailman schedule. He was up. He was out the door early. He comes back. He's bounding with energy. Went to the gym. He went to go swim. He met people. He's got a million things he wants to tell me and a million and one places he wants to go. And I'm just staring at him like, I haven't had coffee yet. So I'm actually walking to the lake, and I'm telling you guys this because I did make a video of me just walking around and showing you this place and where everything is. But now I'm walking towards the lake. I know that there's an alligator in here, and I might turn around. And then I also think that where I'm walking to, the two people that know us are sitting in their lanai, and they're going to be like, what are you doing later? Let alone I'm walking and I am I'm the most unusual one here. You know, I'm such a city girl, and I'm the only one that's walking with like a selfie stick and talking to herself. And like, I just do it. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks is going on with me. Okay, here comes a golf cart. They will run you over. How are you? Yep, they're wild. And now the two people that are looking at me through the lanai are like, what is she doing? Well, why is she talking into a phone? Okay, I'm going to sit by the water. If you hear screaming, it means the alligator has shown up. But it's so peaceful, and I love having background sound. So while I was actually working on this painting at the pool, I'm so glad I was in the shot because I couldn't see. The sun was blinding me, and I think I'm in the shot. You guys know how that goes. And it was so funny that
I saw 3 young children in the pool, and I found that so unusual because I haven't seen any children here. And it's nice that this community allows, a lot of communities don't allow children. They don't even care if they're your grandchildren. It's like, no. Um, so there was 3 kids in the pool, and they were really well behaved. This is where grandmom lives, and they were in the pool, and they were very, very kind and very respectful to other people in the pool. They weren't loud. They weren't making noise. They weren't, fighting or arguing. Yeah, they were getting a little, they're kids. Come on, they're kids. They're going to be teasing each other here and there, but that ended very quickly. Like I said, they were very well behaved. But what was so funny was there was a guy, and I actually was going to just not turn the volume off. I'm like, I'm going to leave this background noise of kids very gently playing in the pool. You could have heard the water in the background. You could have heard people very, very lightly in the background. Nobody's really making a lot of noise, but you could have heard people in the pool. You could have heard the birds in the background. It was all very, relaxing. And of course, I was using my rain stick pen, and I want that to be caught on the microphone. I find that very relaxing. Boy, these people come to life at night. They really do. It's a wild bunch here. And very lively, very, 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 very fun. This is a very active retirement community. I can say that. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll just let the tape roll while I am diamond painting. I like having these natural sounds in the background. Like even right now, you might hear an owl in the background. You might hear water, people talking in the background. It's all, I think, very relaxing. And you guys know I'm not curated. So, but what was so funny to me, and my head's down the whole time. I have my big hat on, my head's down. John took off again. He went somewhere. There's this little roadside place that he's been hanging out at because they have a karaoke, and so he really wants to sing here. He brought his guitar, and he brought, I think, one of his amps. I think he just kind of left it in the car from the day before because he had a gig. And he really wanted to be like, I want to entertain. I want to entertain the people here. I want to be thankful that, they had a spot for us to come and get away for a couple of weeks. And everything is like a big no. It's a big no. So he's found a little spot where he can go sing karaoke. Like he tells me he's going to the Walmart, but I know he's going over to the Y'all Come Back Now. I think that's the name of the place. Y'all Come Back Now, because they have karaoke. So I think he gets it out of his system to go in there and sing a couple of songs and then come home. So the kids are really very well behaved, and you hear the ladies in the background talking about books, and I'm diamond painting, and you can hear somebody gently swimming like laps back and forth. But there's this grown man, and he is having a discussion with a family member, and I hear him say, oh, well, now you're just acting like mom. You sound just like mom. And I found the whole thing so funny. I didn't want to laugh out loud. But I'm like, if you want to have a public conversation about something so personal, about all the people that you're staying with. He was like a checker. He's like, I'm going to go see this one. And then I'm going to go see that one. And then I'm going to see this cousin. I'm like, they're throwing this guy around. Everybody's taking him for like a couple of days because you could tell by his personality, he must just drain everybody. And I'm listening to this conversation. I'm like, oh my God, when is it going to end? You better be a squirrel. Are you a squirrel? Oh yeah, he's a squirrel. Okay. There's all kind of crazy things running around here. The craziest is the turkeys, and they will chase you, and they try. Anyway, so you could tell that this guy is just exhausting, and you could tell that somebody else, a person on the phone is trying to, probably a sibling, is trying to reason with him. And I'm like, these kids are so good in the pool. Everybody's quiet. I'm doing my diamond painting. The ladies are having like a little book club. I hear that they're reading Leanne Moriarty, The Husband's Secret. And I'm like, oh God, that was such a good book. Oh God, it was such a good book. And maybe I'm gonna stop diamond painting, go jump in. See, that's what I love. And jump in and like and be a part of the discussion. But I'm like, no, no, no. You're okay here. Do your thing. Don't jump in. But um, it was so funny to me that this was all going on. Like everything is just happening. Everybody's having a really good time. But there's this one person that is at the pool having this discussion, and I just feel as though if you're going to have a personal discussion like this, where everybody is hearing it, that you need to put the person on speakerphone. I'm sorry. you know, because right now you sound like a schmuck. So before I pass any judgment on you, which I mean, I don't really do, but I mean, I'm just like, what is going on with these cell phones? Especially when, you're in a community like this. I don't know if he actually lived here. Well, no, I think he was visiting. And you're in a public place where people are relaxing and they're, like I said, the ladies are having a book club and the kids are in the pool and there was like a little baby and they were like in the pool house with the little baby and he's having this very public discussion. I think that it should be on speakerphone because I want to hear I want the whole conversation. I want all the context before I chalk it up to you being a schmuck. 'Cause maybe you're not. Maybe the other person is a schmuck too. Oh my God. I think that is, what is that? You always think it's the big birds making these really loud noises, but it's usually a tiny little thing. And I'm looking right now at an osprey. It's kind of hovering. Wow. Okay, so that just stopped. But there's some beautiful birds here. I mean, we have seen hummingbirds and ospreys and eagles. And there's a little family. I think I may have showed you the little family. And today we saw a blue heron. And there goes that crazy squirrel. Man, he is fast. Go ahead, go. You go first. He's afraid of me, so I stopped. Okay, so squirrels decide and who's going to go. It's like we're playing a game of chicken. You're going to go or am I going to go? Oh God, he's wild. Um, he's scurrying up this big beautiful tree. Anyway, so Self-Care Sunday, Book of Awakening readings. I will be very honest with you. Monday, I didn't do a heck of a lot of reading being in the car. I tried, but when you're just not, you have your routine. And I think I was saying that in the beginning of this video, that it's really interesting how you can make do. Like John and I went to the supermarket and we went to go get some things in because when we were driving into this area, he was like, we should stop here or there. And I'm like, no, you're part of a retirement community now. They're going to have things very close to this community because, there's people that are going to be a lot older than us here and not everybody drives and they want to make things convenient. Well, that just isn't so. It's just not so. I really should have took a picture of the the aerial shot that they have. It's just like it's not. I was so surprised that there are so many things here that are empty. Like at one point there was a cafe and it's empty and I'm like, why is it empty? You have a retirement community here. I don't even know how many people are in here, but this would be a great meeting spot for people to get together. They have a huge auditorium. I think that this is in the video that I did. When I think when I got here Tuesday, Wednesday, like Thursday, I did a video. So, of all the grounds. And I'm like, why is the cafe empty? And like, what's going on in this auditorium? It's huge. Like, why is there not more going on here? So John and I met another couple that he's been here 24 years. And he's like, I was in the restaurant business too. And let me tell you, he said, I was going to do something with that cafe when it closed down. But this is a type of community, even the people that live here full year, they still leave and they go back to go see their kids and their grandkids. And so what we're finding that we're here now in April is that it's only about 40% full. And by May, it might be only like 25% full. So there's a lot of changes that have gone on. And so we are looking for somewhere to eat. I'm like, John, we ate nothing but junk food in the car. I just like I can't eat like this. My stomach just turns to sludge and my energy goes down. I need some fruit. I need a salad. I can't eat another, potato chip or what I can't even, I don't even know what the heck we were eating in there. I think I was eating gummy bears all the way down, which just was not, I think I'm 18 years old still. And so we stopped at the supermarket and I got a bunch of fruit and vegetables, and he wanted a steak. I'm like, great, we'll split one. We're not going to eat, you're not going to eat a big steak, neither am I. We're going to split it. Oh, somebody's hollering for me. Yes, hi. And oh my gosh, let me turn around because he'll just keep talking to me. I got away from him earlier. Even as I was walking away, he was still talking. I'm going the other way now. But when we got home and I made the steak, I'm like, oh my God, we bought salad. I bought no dressing. We bought um, a steak, like I had no salt and pepper. But, I had an avocado and I mashed that up and I had a really beautiful tomato and I had, salad and I had a little unsalted butter to make the steak and everything was delicious because I'm the type that I don't need a lot of stuff on my stuff. I tell John all the time, when you cook, it's like everything is fist fighting with each other. Like just like two ingredients, salt and pepper, and that's it. And I'm getting used to, because we don't have these things in house and we're not running out to the supermarket, which is like a half an hour away, I'm learning, I'm adapting to not having salt, just having, not having oil dressings and stuff like that. It just was interesting to me how much do we really need, right? We always think that we need so much more than we actually do. And being that I was forced to not salt and pepper my steak, I would never have a tomato if it didn't have salt on it, because it needs it. But I didn't have salt on my, tomato, and I had cut up a little avocado that was delicious. And okay, so I had, a bag of like I think it was iceberg and romaine lettuce with some shredded carrot and put that on the bottom. Like what you don't have, what I didn't have, I didn't miss. And so now he went to, when he went out, that he said he was going to go to Walmart, and he probably just went to go, he really did go to Walmart, and he went and picked up a few things for us for dinner, and he came home with all this stuff, like salt and pepper and salad dressing, and I'm like, you know what, I really wish you wouldn't have done that, because I didn't need it. I'm getting used to not having it, and, really tasting my food and enjoying things differently. And so I don't know if that's a little exercise that you want to do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at home. I might say, oh, I'm not going to have any salt on this tomato, or I'm not going to have any salt and pepper on this steak. And then as soon as I was getting ready to throw it in the pan, I'd be like, what are you, crazy? Put that on there. But everything is starting to taste different. And I'm starting to feel like, well, I mean, after this past week, today was like another day where I was just like bottoming out. I just was like through with the antibiotic. And I don't know about you guys, but when you're done with an antibiotic that you've been taking for 10 days, I don't think that it's unusual that your stomach gets a little bit like, when I was a kid, my grandmother would call it, oh, you have medicine stomach. You have to like all this stuff move through you. And so that's what I was going through today. And he was like, well, aren't we going to Cocoa Beach? I'm like, oh my God, why did I tell him about Cocoa Beach on the way here? We were so excited. I was like, oh, we're right near Cocoa Beach. We can go, and then we could go see your friend because he's 10 minutes away from Cocoa Beach. And like, why did I tell him? It's just been too much for 1 week. John likes to eat the world. But okay, so Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday were really shot for me. And I do feel like something's missing. even though this is my routine and you're somewhere new and you try and say, well, I'm going to break from my routine and I'm going to go with the flow. That's me. But and I knew that I was going to do that. I was like, listen, don't beat yourself up, even though you have your Kindle on your cell phone and you have your scribe with you and you have your Book of Awakening in there. For me, the ritual is go downstairs. Coffee is a ritual for me. I like making my coffee. I like going upstairs with it. I like cuddling up on my couch, reading my book, thinking about the passage, and then writing about it. And then I will open up my diamond painting, finish my coffee, um, start diamond painting, and then I will transcribe what I have written in my journal into an entry for my members. Sometimes, very rarely, I'd make a public post. And then I had this meeting with my members April the 5th. And was that right before I left? Yeah, it was right before I left. And I was talking to my members about the fact that for, I think, 1 or 2 full weeks, I had opened up my personal notes to them on the readings from Book of Awakening, because a lot of you have gone out and bought the book. A lot of you are following it along with me. And I liked doing that daily entry every day to see what your thoughts were, what my thoughts are, how you receive the reading, and that's my process. And then I had opened up to my members. Do you think that this should be a second channel? Like, I would always do Self Care Sunday, but do you think that this would be a channel, could be a second channel? So that's the discussion that was last April the 5th. And then the first Saturday in June will be like a follow up to that. I did, while I was here, go out and buy a laptop. And I have to tell you that I did my homework. I wrote down what it was that I do. What do I do? Why do I need a laptop? Well, I'm doing everything on my phone. My phone's ready to explode. But what do I actually process on my phone? Well, I process videos, I do graphics, I do voiceovers, and I do other stuff, which is my other art with journaling and writing and stuff like that. And so I really narrowed it down to 3 laptops that would be great for me. And I looked at all the specs and I had them with me. And when I walked into Best Buy, I made sure that they had the computer that I wanted. I ended up getting an Asus Vivo Book 14. Now, you would say the 15 would be better, but the 14 actually had a better processor and a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't want to get into the technical stuff with it. But 3 gentlemen walked up to me and it was like, hey, do you need any help? And I'm like, no, I'm just looking. Hey, do you need any help? No, you're just browsing? Yeah. But it was the third kid that came up to me and his name was Carlos. And he said, how you doing? Do you need any help? Are you being helped? And I'm like, oh, he said, uh, has someone helped you? Are you looking for something in general? I said, yes, I'm looking for a husband. He was here a moment ago and he forgot his glasses. And so he's down in the car. He goes, well, let me put my drink down. I'll be right back. And I'm like, oh, this kid's going to come back. And my husband's going to be like, that's okay. We don't need you. We know what we want. And it's exactly the way my husband can be abrasive because he's that kind of guy. It's fast. Go, 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 go. I know what I want. I got the specs. I'm looking at it. She wants to see it. We're going to buy it and we're going to leave here. But Carlos came over and he was so nice. And I told him, I said, listen, I know what I came in here for, but now I'm looking around and I'm seeing that there's something that's competitive and comparable to what I'm looking for and maybe a better price. And he's like, well, let me see. And he kept saying to me, it's okay. It's okay. Let me see. Okay, it's okay. And he's like, okay, but I want you to look at this. And I'm telling you guys this because he said, see this computer that we don't have here? We don't have it because if you look and see where it's Made and sold by, it's a third party. It's not a Dell. It's not made and sold by Dell. That's why it's not here. It says here, made and sold by a third party. And I just was like, oh, wow, okay. So I knocked that one out of the park because I really thought I was going with that one. It was a bigger screen. It was a touch screen. I thought I was going to go with that one. Didn't happen. But we knocked it down to two, and Carlos explained to me why the one that I chose was better. So, I mean, even though I went there with something in mind, I had to empty out my mind and look at other things and ask the questions that I wanted to ask, even though I was with John, and John is very like, but you did all this, and you know what you want, and why you're changing your mind and everything else. So I think I'm telling you guys this because if there was one reading that stuck out to me during the week, it was one that I said, I tend to kind of like skip over these readings that are difficult for me because I feel as though this is just not the time for you to receive this message, whatever it may be. But when I start thinking about what really happened this week, what did I really do, and I start thinking about things, and I don't know why I don't go into a store and say, I know what I want, and this is what I want, and I don't, need anything else. But I did find what I was looking for, and I did look around just to say, like, well, did I see everything? And he was just so nice, and he was so helpful, and he told me why the one that did come in there for was actually the best choice, and he could have sold me two other ones that were way more expensive than what I wanted. But he's like, I'm telling you, this is the one that you want. I'm a creator too. This is what I do. And it's Carlos is here, bro. Carlos is here, bro, is his TikTok. Carlos is here, bro, is his YouTube. So he followed me, and I'm like, when I get on TikTok, I'm following you. And he's like, show me what you do. And I showed him, and he followed me. And he's like, if you need any help, you can always reach out to me and I will help you. But he showed me my computer and what it could do. And he showed me his apps and what he does and how I could take so much time off my shoulders. I'm doing so much physical work when I make a video, when I edit a video, when I upload a video, when I do the graphics for the video, when I do the voiceovers for the video. He showed me so many shortcuts. He was just so invaluable. And I think that there was just also, not that I wanted to shoo anybody away that came in before him. I think I was a little anxious and a little nervous. I was waiting for John. I really didn't want him to be rude to anyone. He's not rude, but he does sometimes come off abrasive, and I just didn't want that. Like, we're not home. We're not in Philly. It's a totally different vibe here. And not that he's not kind, not that he doesn't introduce himself and everything, but he's just kind of like, this is exactly what he told Carlos. He was like, we know what we're here for, and if you have it, she's going to give you the credit card I left with her, and we're going to be out of here. He was just telling, like, don't even show her anything else. And I walked away, and I heard him say to John, okay, it's okay, like, whatever you want. And then when he said, oh, Carlos is ready for you, and I went back over to Carlos. I said, now I have some questions. And he's like, it's okay. That's all I remember this kid saying to me was, it's okay. It was so comforting and so reassuring to have someone that was listening to me. And I'm the one that's going to be using the computer, and I'm the one that's going to be doing the work. And just be really truthful and honest. So when I was reading, when I finally had the time, which was today because I was in bed most of the day, and I was reading through, well, what did I miss this week? Like, I did do my readings, but I didn't have them really process and absorb into my being because I wasn't writing. But there was one that I said, I don't want to skip over this. If it's going to be difficult, and sometimes the teacher's the student, and you guys are great. And what's wrong with asking for help to say, what did you get out? What was your perspective in all this? But I think because I don't open up my Self-Care Sunday with a reading and a perspective. I kind of am giving you, I'm kind of like in a warm-up of what's going on, because I always find that when I start that way, that it comes full circle. Like what I didn't understand about my week then comes full circle, and here they are on the golf cart. I jumped. I thought it was a tiger coming out of a tree. They're wild on these golf carts. I'm actually going to go in. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go into the lanai, and I'm going to have to shut the air conditioner off because the unit is in the lanai. I don't know why. It should be outside on the property, but it just hums. So I'm going to go in, and John's going to be sleeping, and we're going to do that reading. So this reading is from April the 8th. It's from Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, and it's called Center of the Eye. And I probably blacked out when I read this title because I felt like I was in the center of the eye of a storm that literally followed us from Philadelphia to Florida. It was a band of storms that we just rode into town with. In keeping the center of the eye, meaning eye, not the eye on your face, but eye, in keeping the center of the eye empty, the miracle of life can enter and heal. It's not by chance that the dark center of the human eye, the pupil, is actually an empty hole through which the world becomes known to us. Likewise, in a spiritual sense, the eye, the human eye, not the human eye, the eye of you, is the empty center through which we see everything. It is revealing that such a threshold is called the pupil. And it is revealing that the center of the eye in your head is called the pupil, for it is only when we are emptied of all noise and dreams of ego that we become truly teachable. Like the center of the eye, the human eye, both the Buddhist and Zen traditions speak of an unbreakable emptiness at the heart of all seeing, from which all living things emerge. I had to sit with that for a moment. Like the center of the eye, both the Buddhist and Zen traditions speak of an unbreakable emptiness at the heart of all seeing, from which all living things emerge. The Hindu Upanishads tell us that in the center of the seed of the great Niagara tree, there is nothing, and out of that nothing, the great tree grows. We are then reminded that in our time on earth, we grow like this tree out of that nothing. We are then reminded that in our time on earth, we grow like this tree out of that nothing. As the essence of the tree is empty, as the essence of the tree is the empty center of its seed, so the essence of our life is the intangible presence at the center of the soul. Therefore, our chief work as human beings rests in the sincere effort to allow that central present to inform us. Thus, all forms of prayer and meditation are aimed at keeping the center of the eye empty, so the miracle of life in its grace and immensity can enter and heal us. For me, this reading is using the eye as a symbol, specifically the pupil, the center of the eye, where there is darkness, but where the light gets in, helping us receive the world. Spiritually, we have something similar in ourselves, meaning the center of ourself, the self, the I, that when is free from distractions and noise, can also receive the world by being open and being empty. And I think that my problem has always been, not problem, but my challenge, let's change the word, challenge has always been, how do we empty ourselves so completely that we see everything new again? Because if you're following along with me in the book, Mark Nepo is asking us to close our eyes and erase the many thoughts and images that arise one after another, as if your mind is a blackboard and your breath is a sponge, wiping each appearance clean. This has always been the challenge of meditation, especially for a lot of personalities that are a type A personality. You know, they constantly see the pink elephant in the room. They constantly are trying to, we call it monkey chatter. You know, it's like trying to fall asleep at night. It's so funny. I was watching the New Adventures of Old Christine. It was on last night, one after the other, and she's trying to go to bed, and she's like, "Okay, just go to bed. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep." Okay, I'm going to sleep. Why is the fire alarm not blinking? Oh, there it is. It's blinking. No, it stopped. It's blinking again. You know, and it's just, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And like when you are trying, or maybe it's that we don't try, but how do you not try? You know, it's like going down this rabbit hole. Maybe it's just my mind that is just so active in that way that to be able to just completely empty, to completely see myself erasing something off of a black board. But if you go into things with a preconceived idea of what they are, then you're not really, well, and I guess that's where everything, again, here it comes, full circle. I went into the store with the preconceived idea that I knew what I wanted and what I was looking for. And I hate to use, again, let's change that word, hate. I am challenged to use my husband as an example. He went in with, I did everything that I needed to do and there's nothing more for me to see. And so this is what I want, and you know, just get what you want and let's go. Because he's on to the next thing. Whereas I went in knowing what I wanted, but also keeping my mind open to another possibility. Is that the same thing? Is another possibility the same as looking at something that is this, that, well, Mark Nepo also says, like, you know, feel what is before you, see and feel the wood that makes up the chair next to you, and resist preempting its presence by pronouncing it as a chair. Now, this has been a really, like, this is, we did study very briefly the Upanishads when I was in teacher training, and in reading the nothingness that something grows out of was bringing back the self-care Sunday that we had last week, when I had explained to all of you that feeling of nothingness that I had. Like, I had that experience of my life being born out of nothing, and I cannot explain that emotionally or try to explain to you what that felt like. I just can't. I think it's just something that you would have to experience yourself. But I was in a very intense teacher training, and maybe, you know, my life was just blown wide open at that time, that I was able to receive that. Maybe that is the message here for this reading. But I wanted to go into a few more things. I want to go back and just read something else that I thought that I wanted to tap into. So I think that even though there are spiritual traditions like Buddhism and Hinduism and Zen that talk about this emptiness at the center, that it's not a negative emptiness, but a very fertile one, that just like the center of the seed that is empty, that allows the tree to grow. And that the message in this reading is that we need to create space. And I think that we do that through this practice. I never look at diamond painting. Like I was at the pool and people were looking at me and they were like, oh, what is she doing? Um, no one would really come up to me, but I think that when people walk by and they see like I'm taking these little diamonds and I'm sticking them to a canvas, that I always wonder like what their initial thought is, because it's so much more than what they see. And I felt like that with my yin classes that I would teach. If you were to peek in at a yin class, you'd be like, what are they doing? They're just like laying on the floor. What are they doing? They're not really doing anything, but you're doing so much. And I do think that when we are in this mental state of diamond painting, when we are focused, it's not an unfocused focus. It's a very deliberate focus. You're not, even though everything is mapped out for you, your colors are chosen, your symbols are there, and you're connecting them. You're not mindlessly doing this. You are very much aware of what it is that you are doing. And I think that you are, in a way, whether you are conscious of it or not, you are, in a way, making space in your mind, stopping the chatter, stopping the busyness. You're certainly not holding your cell phone. You're not looking at the TV. Well, maybe you are. Or maybe it's just background noise, which I think is another layer that you can get into to create space for yourself. It's like to turn off the noise that is the news, or the put something nice on. I've been putting playlists in I've been putting music in my playlist that I think would go very nicely with a canvas that you may be doing. So if you're doing a canvas that is like the Whispering Woodland, I put woodland ambient music on in that playlist. I really don't have any tropical music, that this would be nice, but this is a self-care Sunday. But just if you wanted to say like, oh, I'm doing the same canvas that Elisa is doing, and she's got a playlist, it's on YouTube, that she shared with this canvas, that I could just create a mood. I mean, how nice to do Whispering Woodland and have this beautiful video with some ASMR sounds of a forest in the background. It's also very pretty, and it has like little dragonflies and little woodland animals that come peeking out if you happen to glance up. I just think that when you have that space in your home, and it doesn't have to be a big one, just think about how big a yoga mat is. It's not very big at all. But if you have that corner in your room where like, this is my chair and this is where I read and this is where I journal, then make it the best little corner that you can. Make it where your seat is comfortable. Build yourself a throne. That's what I would tell my students. Take as many blankets as you need and build yourself a throne on that mat. And light a candle, light some incense, get a soft light, get a reading light. I'm not going to tell you to go out and go buy an expensive journal unless you want to. Buy a composition book and decorate it the way that a composition book and a glue stick, and go through a magazine and pull out any images that you like and glue them to that journal and make yourself your own little collage. It's another creative way of making, of planting seeds. I do believe in vision boards, and I do believe that, you might say, oh, this is kind of corny, but you do. I don't know if it's that here's my thing on manifestation. I think everything is always there. But when you make an intention that that's what you want, your eye actually sees it. So there we go again, with the eye being empty, and it's what you fill it with. So if you get that little composition book that has nothing on it, and you get some images that you want to glue onto the top, you've now entered that into your eye, and where does it go? It goes into the eye of your being, in the center of you. that's what you're filling up that space with. You have a choice of what you want to fill that space up with. What do you want to fill it up with? I mean, do you want to listen to some beautiful music in the background, or do you want to have, you know, background music that is, I am very grateful when I go somewhere and, you know, there's always the designated business channel, news channel that is on, but I am so happy that the mute button is on, that you can't hear people talking, but then they have that ticker that goes along the bottom. And so it's a practice is to not look at the ticker, not read the captions. I don't want to fill my life up with that. So I think that that was another very important part of the reading when it comes to emptying yourself out and not wanting to control or name or label things. But and I've been talking a lot about that too in my diamond painting, that I don't like to label students as beginners or intermediate or advanced, because I don't know where you are in your life. This might be something that comes very naturally to you, or for me, I'm 2 years in and I still find myself challenged at times. Look at me, I can't even open up those little plastic things. Thank God I didn't have my nails on, or they would be all over that canvas. They would be sticking on the canvas along with the drills. So I try to drop the labeling as much as I can when I am doing a video. Now, what I'm working on here, these were actually AB drills, and I looked to see what did I have in my pen here, and I have the blue wax that came from Art Dot, but I have a little tiny little bit that of, well, here's a testament to the blue Art Dot putty king. He's the king, because I have been using the blue Art Dot putty in that single placer throughout that entire canvas, and I don't even know when I put it in there, and it is picking up my AB drills, but so did the blue Art Dot wax. I did use that also, and it was picking up those ABs very nicely. Let me just see if there's anything else that I forgot in this reading. The heart of meditation and prayer are keeping the center of our life empty, again, not in a negative way, but in a way that is fertile ground for healing and for growth, as long as we're able to make the space and let go or empty out the busy mind. Like Mark says, you know, the thoughts come up, wipe them away. Think of them being written out on a blackboard and then wiping them away. I am a visual person, but I can't visualize that type of emptying of a thought, which is why my journal practice is so important to me. When I am able to write and see what I am writing on a piece of paper, then I really know what I'm thinking about. Because a lot of times, like even just walking, when I was walking and speaking to you guys, that's kind of like a walking meditation. There's movement. It's not like sitting down. And you know, when I'm sitting down and talking to you guys, there's movement in the walking, there's energy, but I'm still grasping at my thoughts and how I'm trying to make them connected. Whereas my journal writing has always been about that famous quote. It's evading me who said it. I don't know what I think until I see what I write. That is me to a T. I don't know what I'm thinking unless I see it in writing, and then I'm like, oh, I know where this is coming from. I know where this is. Not only where it's coming from, but that I'm still holding on to it and that it's still buried. And it's not always a negative thing. But some of my best ideas, some of my best connections have come from stream of consciousness writing, where I'm just writing and writing and not paying any attention to what I'm writing to. That's not what it is. It's just writing whatever is on your mind. You're dumping the brain. It's just a big brain dump. Doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. But it's probably going to be hurried writing until you dump all that nonsense that you are carrying around in your head, and then it makes space for the bigger stuff, and then you'll see that your handwriting will slow down. And it's always like a miracle to me. I do this like every morning. It's always like a miracle to me how that it's new. It's like I don't go in with the preconceived idea that this is let me just write because I want to get to what's at the heart of the matter. That never happens for me. It just is like I'm writing, then all of a sudden the magic happens, the miracle happens, where I slow down, and all the stuff that I was writing in a hurry, I never made a connection there. That's just junk that I'm carrying around with me, like my suitcase. Like I came here with a bunch of stuff. I can't tell you how much stuff I've thrown away. I got here. We got here Wednesday. It's Sunday. I've thrown away half the things that I brought in my suitcase. I threw them out already. So, and I feel lighter. And it's like, I really didn't need this. Why did I bring it? Why did I think I needed so much stuff? I have to go now to Walmart and get those vacuum seal bags that you put um, you put blankets in and then you suck the air out of them and you put them in your closet and you have room. Well, I'm going to have to do that because our car wasn't stuffed enough. John had to go and buy foofy. He saw this little, we went to a great flea market and he saw this little cradle. I'm like, what is going on with you that you want to buy a wooden cradle? And he said, I want to get this for foofy. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I want to get this for foofy. So we have a wooden cradle that we're coming home with. He's like, it was $5. I was like, but that's not what's important. It could have been $1. We have no room in our house to put it. And I don't foresee foofy jumping into this cradle and using it as a place to nap. Oh my God. Make space, John, make space. He is so knocked out right now. He would have been so great for this reading also. And I could see that I have about 5 minutes left into this video. And I'm like, did it get quiet? Can I just do like a 5-minute ASMR? Because I am so missing my rain stick. Where did I go? All of a sudden I'm wondering, oh, I know what's going on. I put something on my face, which actually made it to the trash when I went back to my room. I put something on my face that has been irritating my face the whole time I was diamond painting. And then it started to irritate my eyes. And I think maybe when I ended this was I got up and went into the ladies' room and when I went into the ladies' room, my face was beet red and my eyes were burning. But of course, I continued to diamond paint because I wanted I'm very aware that Self-Care Sunday was behind because I didn't feel well this morning. And I'm going to check and see if there's some lovely background sound for the last few minutes just to end this video. And then you can decide if you want to listen or if you want to say goodbye. But either way, I thank you for joining me. I love my Self-Care Sundays. And let me just check before, and then I will do a voiceover to say goodbye. I have about 2 minutes left, and I'm glad I checked because you can hear those sweet little children playing in the pool in the background. I think the angry adult had ended his conversation. That's really what I was checking on, and yeah, it's just such a lovely sound sitting here diamond painting and hearing the kids in the pool and playing and giggling. So here we are, another Self-Care Sunday under our belt. Please let me know any thoughts that you have in the comments. If you are not subscribed, We do this every Sunday, and it's a lovely part of my channel that I really enjoy. It goes a little bit deeper into the member section if you are interested. And I'm gonna let the last minute just play out with the kids in the pool. Hopefully, it's just as joyful as the little bit that I heard. And I will see you, as always, in the next one. Keep creating that world that you want to live in. Bye.